city of light. Where is the hot comb, Maman? Collette ran her fingers through her wavy hair, and her voice sounded of lightness. I tell you, Paris is free. There will be dancing in the streets this day. She tapped her feet against the parquet floor. Marie-Thérèse stared at the front door to her apartment, then turned toward the window just as another blast rattled the picture on the sideboard and loosened the last of the plaster from the cherub's foot. The rosary bead swayed against the wooden picture frame. It's pray you should do. Pray that your brother is safe in this war. Pray that Christophe... She stood the broom in his corner. Tat, tat, tat. The comb, Maman. Colette's voice feigned patience. Christophe is not in the war, and he's home when the last loaves come out of the oven. You know that, Maman. I know the time of your brother's quitting better than you. Full dawn, and he's home from the boulangerie. And Missy, you do not know for sure who the resistance and who... What for you want to comb? A little bit of frizz in the hair makes for a pretty face on a girl with tan skin like yourself. You don't need to make the straight hair like the French girls. I am a French girl. Colette's brown eyes blazed defiance for the whisper of a second. You watch that mouth on you, my girl. I for sure don't like all this boom boom and the zing zing, but I am your mare, and I tell you what is true. Marie-Thérèse walked past the half wall that separated the kitchen from the family's living space. She bent down and parted the frayed blue gingham curtain covering the two shelves holding her cooking pots and utensils. From the top shelf, she pulled out the pressing comb Glovia had given her. Café, Maman? Collette kept her eyes downcast and her voice soft as she nodded toward the pot on the stove. A blast that sounded more dull thud than whopping thunder swept the room. Marie-Thérèse's eyes went to the photograph of her long-dead Frenchman father. This time, the rosary didn't move, and the ceiling chair lost no more body parts. We are in France since you are 4 years old, that is for sure, but you are a girl of Martinique. My father was born in France, for the sake of God, Maman. That look of defiance flashed from Colette's eyes again. Who you talk to like this, miss? I know who your father is. Marie-Thérèse shook the straightening comb in her daughter's direction. I married a man. Though my papa tell me this is a fool's thing to do, I marry him because he was a Frenchman, a white man. And maybe I come to Paris? She shook her head as she reached for her last unchipped china cup. I'll never do that thing again. I don't think you can do that thing. Collette directed her giggles into the steam coming off the pot of coffee. You are 50 years old, after all. I hear you, dear girl. Marie-Thérèse glowered as she handed the comb to Collette. She touched her own crinkly dark hair. Maybe she needed a touch-up herself, especially that patch of gray in front. You got nothing better to do than talk bad about your mother. You stand there telling me you are a French girl. Well, French girl or girl from Martinique, you be dead either way when the Germans burn this city to the ground. Now talk to me no more about French girls. Tat, 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 tat. Yes, Maman. At least Collette sounded as though she almost meant her words. She laid the comb across the grate over the open flame. When Christophe comes home, she sidled a glance towards her mother. Then you'll see. I'll see me hand laid to you for your sassiness. Maman! Maman! Christophe's shout rang through the apartment door. Open! Open! Marie-Thérèse hurried to the door and fumbled with the chain, fastening it shut. She wished she had listened to her son. What good was a chain against a Nazi jackboot? She slid the metal free, pushed back the locking bolt, and swung open the door. Christophe, his golden-skinned face wreathed in smiles, burst into the room. Christophe! Christophe! Collette crossed the scratched floor in 3 strides and leaped into her brother's arms. Her legs encircling his waist, her arms tight around his neck. It's true, I knew it. Paris is free. He twirled her around. With this news, even you feel light. Christophe sat his sister down. No bullet holes in you. Marie-Thérèse crossed herself. I hear them all night, the Germans. There is fighting everywhere. No, Maman, that's just it. The sentries, they... Christophe crossed over to the kitchen table with his 4 still stirred.